I'm trying to remember what were my thoughts when I saw that our communities were being infiltrated by people who didn't live there. There was once a time when Black Americans owned businesses in our community. That was it. That was how it was. When the demographics started to change, I think I was wondering, but here's the thing. When I was in elementary school, there was a market in our community and the Asian man owned it and he was so cool. Everybody knew him. He was so cool. It's not until I think the 80s and the 70s, the Hispanics and Asians were cool. It's the new breed that need a swift kick in the ass. They the ones come out here with this nasty ass attitude. But I'll talk about it more when I come back. Hey folks, how are you doing? Thank you for showing up, returning, all that old good stuff, and let's go on. For the past couple of days, I have been thinking about how the demographics changed in our community when it came to business ownership, how the people didn't look like us. And I was trying to remember the consensus, of our community, how we felt about it. Were we I think what happened was we just accepted it. That's what we do. When you feel like, how can we control who rents out or sells a building to someone or a business to someone? So, but it was weird because these people who came into our community opening their businesses did not live in our community, and most of them act like they didn't want to deal with us. So it was just weird. When I think about how they act when we go into their place of business, oh my God, if I could just keep you guys at the door and go into your pockets, get your money and just shove your ass out of my business, I would do it. That kind of attitude, why do I have to deal with you just to make some money type attitude. It was okay, well, if you don't want to deal with us, why are you here? And we just got to a point where we just dealt with it. We'll talk about their nasty, disturbing attitudes amongst each other, but yet we would still go to their place of businesses. When I think about that, the past couple of days, I was thinking about how we tolerated that. It just irritates me a lot. Why the F do we tolerate so much? Why do we tolerate these people setting up shop in our community and treating us like scum, but taking a vacuum and sticking it in our pockets and sucking out our money? Why do we do it? And then we've been focusing on Asians, which, hey, I'm not tripping. I think they are prolific when it comes to businesses in our community. They outnumber everyone. So I understand that is why we are focusing mainly on them. And then they're the ones who came with the smoke. I didn't see any videos of any Indian men, or I didn't see any videos of Arabs talking crazy and greasy and cheesy. But we already know the Africans like to come in and run their mouth. It's whatever, shoe fly. That's how I feel about them. Yeah, the Asians, the one came in with the smoke and they realized they can't even handle this. I was just thinking, okay, now I'm going to do a video talking about how much money these Indians have bragged about making in our community and don't live here and don't like us, but they love our money. I ran across the clip from TikTok of this man talking to this Indian man who was, I guess, boasting about how much money he just made in 1 year off of us. And when I listen to it, I'm just shaking my head and I'm getting more and more irritated. That money he claimed he made off of us in our communities that they can't stand being in, that could have been Black American businesses making that money. That's what annoyed me. Before we go into the content that I want to share with you, give you some numbers and make you aware of how much money we gave these people, because I want it to be drilled in your soul, the marrow of your bones, that we are not to give them another dime. Not a darn. If you're walking by their business until their doors are shuttered and you drop a penny, turn back around and pick it up and put it in your pocket and keep it moving. That's how serious we should be. And I need us to hold our people accountable, your relatives, friends, associates accountable. If they try to sneak their asses off to these businesses and try to give them their money, put them on blast. Because you're gonna either be with us or against us. And I hope somebody walk by who's doing reconnaissance. I hope they walk by those businesses and catch your ass trying to creep, put you all over social media. Because this is not the time to play. We gave these people too much money and they turned around and crapped on us. Big, nasty, smelly one. And they told us to shut up and don't whine or complain about it. But I'm going to start off with a clip of my situation, of an incident that occurred last year, way before any of us knew it was going to be an economic blackout against these immigrants. A situation I had when me and my family members were going to get some Chinese takeout. I was sitting in a truck outside because we were parked in front of their storefront and it wasn't a parking. I wasn't supposed to park there, so I just stayed in front of their business, and my family member went inside to buy the food, order the food. And then when they called me, while they were clarifying what I wanted to buy, they were trying to hurry up and get it done, or they would just mention the attitude was terrible, and she kept rolling her eyes. So that automatically, it was like, oh no. I got out of my vehicle and went inside, was like, I was already over 10 when it came to them. And then they had audacity to treat somebody like that who was coming into your business to give you their money. And then on top of that, I wish I took a picture of them or videotaped them. I completely forgot. It was a group of Hispanic men sitting outside of their business on the sidewalk, inebriated. And it was like 11, 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I was like, if that was a group of black men, they would have quickly called the police on them. Sitting there, red face, smashed, drinking cervezas at that time of the day. I was like, this is some bull. So let me show you the clip of what had happened or what I said to him. Also, I think I may have said some colorful words. As I said, I'm so spent over this situation in this country altogether. So don't judge me. Don't go there. I want to see how you operate in your personal life. Check this out. This is what I'm talking about. This is why we voted for mass deportation, because of your nasty ass attitude. When people come in here spending their money, you better show respect. Where you at? I'm gonna put you all up on social media with your nasty ass attitude. You can take your ass back to your country and you can open up a business there. You don't come to my country treating me like shit. What's wrong with you? If you don't like me, my people, you can get your ass out. We don't want you here anyway. I don't give a fuck what these white racist people told you. They lied to you. We run this country, and you better recognize it. Your stupid ass. You gonna come to America treating us like shit. Take your ass back home. Pack and go back to your country. That's the fuck you do. And I said it with my whole heart. You tired of your ass. Yeah, I didn't realize that I was that strong. And with the words, I haven't looked at this clip since it was recorded, I think in September last year. I didn't even intend to do it. Because my loved one, I know what kind of person they are. They don't go in there looking for smoke. You know, they don't go at you or any place of business looking for smoke. So that just bothered me in itself. And then just how it's been. It was just an accumulation. And then when they kept saying, when they were describing how this chick just kept rolling her eyes every time they gave her a selection, it was like, you gonna roll your eyes and take our money at the same time? So when I got out the truck, it was over. It was like, it was over. You know, I was a guy, I know, you know, yeah. I know this is a certain way I'm supposed to conduct myself, but hey, I'm a person. But anyway, yeah, so this part right here, this is I think I got a little bit of them sitting on the outside in front of the business, just drinking away. And not to mention that public intoxication is against the law. See how everybody else get a pass, right? Whoo, I was hot. I was hot. When I keep expressing how I am tired of this, you guys don't. I'm glad I saved this video to give you a clear picture what I mean when I said I'm tired of it. So now let's go into this clip. I want you guys to hear with this a comment someone wrote about how they noticed the changes in the demographics when it came to fast food takeouts, particularly fast food that cater to us. Then I am going to immediately go into the clip of this Indian man talking about how much money he made off of us in our community. Check this out. Went to black-owned fish place in mid-80s. Fish was delicious. One day I went to 5 Asians in suits were lurking around. I guess they meant, okay, one day I went, 5 Asians in suits were lurking around. Next time I went, the Asians were back there cooking fish. Still had the same sign saying Louisiana fish. You buy, we fry. Pics of collard greens and yams still on the walls. Not a black person in sight. I never went back. Will remember that until I die. It was a gradual takeover of our communities. A lot of black people sold their businesses and their families' recipe to these people. And it was a crack epidemic at the time. I think it was a strategic move at the time. Should have been stopped decades ago.
$213 million in 2024 only.
In 2024 only?
Only, yes. Over in all the store.
They telling us straight to our face and they bragging about it. Watch this. It's cool, man. So you're saying they started in the Bronx or the inner cities and then they branch out and have 240. 240 is a lot.
Yes, 284.
284?
Yeah, they have right now.
Wow.
In Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, Boston, Maryland.
Yeah.
Like, they are one of the biggest franchise. If I see like the biggest franchisee, they start from your city.
Yeah.
Believe me or not, their main thing maybe in Brooklyn, Manhattan, maybe in Dexter, maybe in Bronx.
Yeah. They started in Brooklyn. And they made how much? 200-something million?
$213 million. Just overall, like.
So they started in Brooklyn in the inner cities, and then they accumulated that money,
and
then from accumulating that money, they started now spreading out their wealth from accumulating from the inner cities.
They opened their first store in Brooklyn.
Okay.
In 2013.
Yeah.
Right now, 2025.
So they started in 2013 opening these stores in the inner cities in the Brooklyn.
Yes.
With one store. And they made so much money they was able to accumulate.
So now they invest to 187.
There you go, folks. They just came over here and cleaned up. Some of them so entitled, they come over here with thick ass accents and don't even need to communicate with you. You don't understand them, then oh well, learn their language. That's their attitude. We've been dealing with that entitledness ever since this infiltration came about. Like, looking at us crazy, telling us to learn their language. I mean, they had it bad with the Spanish thing. When I was growing up in high school, it was like, you better learn Spanish. You better learn Spanish. And then some of them, the kicker is when they come out of their own face and say, you better learn Spanish. You don't even know what goes through my head when they say that. You coming to my country and telling me I need to learn your language. That's like me relocating to some Hispanic community or country and I'm demanding that they learn my language. You see how it's some kind of spirit in this country that make these people act diabolical, entitled to come to my country and tell me I need to learn your language to communicate with you. Let me be quiet. I only want to tell you what I would want to do. You've seen it. Probably thought about it. You walk down the main streets of a historically black neighborhood, a place just rich with culture and history. You notice something. The corner store, the beauty supply shop, the carryout, the laundromat, So many of these essential neighborhood businesses aren't owned by the people who live there. It's a reality so common, it's practically a cliche. This isn't about individual choices, it's about structural forces. The real answer is written in federal policy, in discriminatory banking, and in hidden economic history that America doesn't like to talk about. And this is not pitting one group against the other. It's just presenting the facts and how this country mainly dictates all, I'll tell you the truth. This is about following the money. We're going to unpack the numbers, the laws, and the systems to show you exactly how this economic landscape was built, how immigrant businesses came to have such a strong presence in Black communities, and what it all means for the wealth that stays or leaves our neighborhoods. You can feel it in the air. In so many communities is a quiet frustration, a sense of being an economic spectator in your own neighborhood. And this isn't just a feeling. The numbers back it up. While Black Americans make up, you know what? I'm not going to say that percentage. I refuse to say this percentage anymore. And I get so tired of hearing my own people say it. You really believe that we only make up 14% of this country? Do you have factual proof? Or are you going by a system that routinely stigmatizes us and demean us and try to make us look like the lowest of lows? Let's go on. Of the U.S. population, they own just around they say we own just around 3% of all employer businesses. That's what they say. I would like somebody to pay somebody or a group of people to go around this country and count us and count how many businesses we actually have. Because I don't believe none of these statistics. I was taught years ago. Statistics can be subjective. They can go along with whatever narrative people want to present. Facts. Let's go on. That single statistic is where our story begins. It's a massive ownership gap with profound consequences. Now, those businesses are doing real work, generating over $211 billion in annual revenue and employing about 1.6 million people based on 2022 data. But the disparity is still one of the largest untapped economic opportunities in the country. When you see a high concentration of non-Black owned businesses in a Black neighborhood, you're seeing a local symptom of this national disparity. The pain points in the community are real. Residents often talk about a relationship that feels purely transactional, not communal. They feel like their dollars are being pulled out of the community, not reinvested back into it. This feeling is about questioning the system that sets up this dynamic in the first place. Why are Black entrepreneurs who have incredibly high aspirations for business ownership so underrepresented on their own main streets? To get that, we have to rewind the clock and look at policies that open doors for some while locking them for others. I told you it's the political leaders who are to blame. If our political leaders had our back, this would not be happening. Those local leaders who are over the districts and sections of our community, they're the ones who are supposed to make sure businesses that come into our community do right by us. And that includes reinvesting. So we have to hold these fraudulent politicians accountable as well. Not just the business owners. We have to go to the head, because they're the local politicians and whatnot are the ones who approve of these businesses being in our community. We need to hold their feet to the fire. Let's go on. The stage for today's economic reality was set decades ago, right after the civil rights movement. Two powerful and seemingly unrelated forces collided. First, the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965. This landmark law flipped the old quota system that heavily favored European immigrants, opening the doors to people from Asia, Africa, and Latin America. Many of these new immigrants came with entrepreneurial dreams, looking for a foothold in the American economy. They were often funneled by circumstance into very specific economic niches. At the exact same time, black communities were reeling from decades of intentional economic starvation. The most destructive policy was redlining. For most of the 20th century, the federal government and private banks literally drew red lines on maps around black neighborhoods, calling them too hazardous for investment. This meant black residents couldn't get mortgages to buy homes, and just as critically, and black entrepreneurs couldn't get loans to start or grow their businesses. The capital needed to build a community's commercial backbone was systemically cut off. And did you guys hear about this state? I gotta find the article. That a state is trying to pay out to black residents for their for housing discrimination that happened in the 60s. I think it was prior to the 60s. Prior to the 60s. So you got some residents that came together with a lawsuit to, say this is, you can't get reparations based on color, race-based reparations. So then you got Trump's DOJ coming in blocking it. But the people who are offering the reparations to the black American citizens say that what they're doing is completely legal. And I'm saying this, black American civil rights attorneys, now it's time for you to show us whose side you're on. They need to come together and get a lawsuit against the DOJ. They're saying that you cannot give reparations based on race, right? Well, you mofos changed our identity several times in this country. So what are we going to base it on? What are we going to base it on if we can't base it on race? You erased our true identity intentionally. So if you got a civil rights attorney worth their salt, they could come and bring a case against the DOJ and sue the hell out of them. Because you cannot deny that from us. We're the only group in this country who have truly tried to obliterate our identity. So what else are we going to base it on? All right, sometimes I wish I went to law school. I would be the richest attorney in the world, for real. Black American civil rights attorney. Why did you become a civil rights attorney if you're not going to do anything to help us? And then people, you don't even need to, study law. You could go to any random law library and learn the law yourself. It's not that hard. All you need to do is read books, and you'll be surprised how many people will be willing to help you and point you in the right direction when they see you're trying to do something. Let's go on. Ugh. So here's where the paths cross. As new immigrant groups arrive, they look for low-cost areas to start their businesses. And where were those areas? They were the very same black neighborhoods that had been starved of capital by redlining. Is a well-documented pattern where banks that would refuse a loan to black residents to open a shop on their own block would in some cases grant loans to non-black entrepreneurs to open that same type of business.
Because my basis of claim is said, and the person that is my star witness when it comes to finances, that's been on Wall Street for 40 years as a financial analyst and a financial guru, he talks about how they push our things to the side and give it to you. So at the end of the day, they will steal my business plan. They'll tell me no, and they'll steal my business plan and give it to you, and still you can't outperform me.
This created what sociologists call middleman minorities. These are groups that get positioned or squeezed between the dominant economic class and local population. They operate the businesses that serve the community but often don't live in. And they end up absorbing the day-to-day friction and resentment from the people they serve, which deflects that anger away from the larger economic system that created the whole situation. We have to talk about the model minority myth. This myth is a destructive narrative that pits minority groups against each other. It praises one group's perceived success as a way to criticize another's struggles, suggesting that if some immigrants can make it through sheer hard work, then the struggles of Black Americans must be their own fault. This completely erases the centuries of systemic plunder and exclusion that Black Americans have faced, a context that is vastly different from that of voluntary immigrants. Now, let me show you guys a clip that this person recorded of their mother. They recorded their mother talking to their Asian friend about the blackout. Check this out.
I knew this was coming. My Asian friend called me and she said, "Are you guys really boycotting Asian businesses?" And I knew that was going to happen. I knew it was coming. And I said, "Well, honestly, it's really not a boycott. It's a black dollar shift." And she said, what do you mean? What is that? I said, we're going to shift them in another direction towards black businesses. It's not about hurting Asians. When you think about it, we should have been supporting each other. One other thing that she said, it's not really fair though. Like, why are y'all making the Asian businesses suffer? And I said, but do we owe y'all our money? Do we owe y'all our dollars? Why can't we spend our money where we want to spend it? And if we choose to support black businesses, why are you offended? Then this was what really got me. I said, have you ever been to a black business? Have you ever been to a black restaurant? She actually said, I don't know, but maybe. I said, well, see, that's the issue. Because I don't have to say, oh, I don't know, maybe. I've been in Chinese restaurants, many. And I've been in many nail shops. I've been in many beauty supply stores. I have. I said, so how y'all mad that we are taking our dollars and supporting us? Y'all support y'all. You tell me yourself that y'all have Korean grocery stores and so forth. Y'all support y'all. Well, don't be mad that we want to support us. You know, there's no love lost. We still cool. We still tight. But I knew one of my Asian friends were going to call me and ask me about this.
Yeah, I wouldn't even call that a friendship. It's not my business though, but it's online, so I don't just the Asian friend calling her, asking what was going on, as if she's not aware of how her people generally, and I'll say some, I'm not going to say the majority, treat us. And what's ludicrous and so irritating is how they really expect us to keep their business afloat. It's almost like treating us like slaves. Like they, you know, you have a few coming online saying, oh my God, it's so terrible. We understand. But do you? Do you understand? Or are you creating this video to be manipulative? To act like you understand so we can be like, oh, okay, that's cool that a couple of you guys understand. So let's go back to giving you guys our money. And at the end of the day, we get nothing out of it. All these years you guys have been in our community, we got nothing out of it. Our communities look ran down, forsaken. Some of these business owners don't even have the decency to go outside and clean up around their businesses. You go walk into some of these businesses, I would swear they are boarded up. All they're missing is the boards, garbage on the ground, stains from what, I don't know what kind of liquid stains they are. It's like, it's a disgrace. Then you have our people just walking to and fro like it's like this is just regular. You don't demand better. Like, get y'all asses out here and get some bleach, some hot water and some soap and clean these sidewalks and walkways off. That's their responsibility anyway. But because they think so lowly of us, they don't give a F. They don't care. They were like, these animals don't care. They don't care how the front of this, they don't care how this storefront looks. They still gonna come in and buy my chicken. They still gonna come in and buy blunt wrappers. It's like, you don't demand better. They have been allowed to make money and do what they want to. Don't care how you feel, and you didn't either. You think they would have been having filthy, disgusting storefronts in these entitled white communities? They would have ran them down the first 2 hours, closed them doors, and clean us up. You know how they want to police the world. Okay, let me show you one more video. And the video I'm going to show you, it's a man describing how Indians in their country keep themselves cool during the hot months. And it's just, like I always say, the audacity of these people to come and escape their torturous countries. Whatever level of torturousness it is still caused them to flee and come to my country, where they have the audacity to look down at me like I'm some kind of scientific experiment that they accidentally stepped on. Check this out.
5% of the country actually has. They sold it on us that they're superior tech giants in the world. Only 5% of the country actually has any air conditioning. They all pile up on rooftops with no privacy because they can't handle the heat. Yet they came and they look down on us and they say they're smarter than us. And this is why they don't want to go home. This is exactly why they all want to come here. This is why their government officials are on TV saying, open up the H-1Bs. Stop pausing the H-1Bs. You know, China doesn't take them. They're so tech savvy. China doesn't want them. Japan doesn't want them. Taiwan doesn't want them. Where do we get a lot of our tech from? Yeah. Even corporations are going to get to the point where, oh shit, we fucked up. That's coming.
And like I said, it's just their attitudes are so disturbing. It's like, do you remember where you came from? Or when you got out of that airplane onto this soil, you actually forgot. You got amnesia. Like, let me remind you. It's like you guys came from a place where most of you guys have to bathe and use the bathroom in the same water. Some of you guys don't even have water. And like many of us said, even our poorest of poor black people don't live like that. So a lot of that attitude they be giving us, a lot of that attitude that we see, most of that be insecurity. Insecurity and shame, like hardcore shame, that they know that we know where they came from. So in order to feel good and walk amongst us, they have to put on this false, prideful, proud. We're proud people with a strong culture. Okay, and what does that culture consist of? Using the same water that you bathe, wash your clothes, relieve yourself in? Come on now, knock it, calm down. Okay, I want to read a little bit more of the report. And this part of the report is just going to knock it home. It's going to further convey to my people that this is a need. This is not just, somebody said in the comments on somebody else's video, I hope this is not a temper tantrum. I said, wow, that's a low blow. This is not a temporary thing. This is a life change. It's a wealth transfer. And we need to starve these people out of our community and possibly back to their country so they can get back to their country and get it together. But these numbers and the money that we could have been generating for ourselves in our community is giving you a clear understanding as to why we were targeted consistently when it came to money. And then I'm going to end it with a beautiful video of one of our sisters enjoying her first experience. I believe she said it was her first experience going to a black salon, a black nail salon. Let's bring this into today in hard data. The single biggest barrier holding back black business growth is the same one that started it all: access to capital. Recent data paints a pretty grim picture. Black-owned firms are denied credit at more than twice the rate of white-owned firms. One 2024 analyst found that 39% of black business owners who applied for financing were denied. That's a large percentage. Even when they are approved, they are far less likely to receive the full amount they asked for compared to white-owned businesses. It's a constant battle for financial oxygen. This lack of capital creates what's known as the leaky bucket effect. When a dollar is spent in a community, how long does it stick around? When businesses are owned by people who live outside the neighborhood and when they don't hire locally or bank locally, that money leaves almost immediately. It doesn't circulate to pay local employees who then spend it at other local businesses. It doesn't get deposited into a local credit union. It doesn't sponsor the neighborhood little league team. The bucket leaks, and you can't build wealth in a community if the money won't stay. The cost of this isn't just a feeling, it's a number, a huge one. The Brookings Institution estimated that if Black-owned employer businesses simply reach parity with the Black share of the population, it will create around 757,000 new businesses, generate an additional $824 billion in revenue, and create 6.3 million new jobs. That number isn't a measure of what's being taken, it's a measure of the massive opportunity gap. It's the staggering cost of systemic exclusion. So there you go, folks. We have to do our own thing. If we continue to give our money, foolishly give our money to these other people who take it out and give it to whoever the hell they want to, we're going to continue to starve and destroy our own community. It takes money to build a community up. They know this. That's why they built theirs up with our money. And not only build the communities up that they live in this country, they're helping to build their community up across the seas, abroad. So it's up to us. We can't continue to play the fool and then become angry when they play you like a fool. It's like, how can you respect people who don't respect themselves? How can you do that? And I'm tired of people disrespecting my people. And I'm tired of you accepting it. You get pissed off at whoever owns this mini mart, but you still take your ass in there and gave them your money. You still took your ass to those nail salons where these people were sitting here talking about you while they were working on your nails and your feet, or treating you like crap while they, you know what? Let me knock it off. Let's go on and look at this lovely, beautiful video of this young lady's experience in a all Black owned nail salon. And then after that, I'm going to end this video. Thank you guys for your support. Thank you for liking, subscribing, hyping this video. Sharing is caring. And I'll see you guys in the next video.
I went to a Black-owned nail salon for the first time, and the differences blew my mind. Prices are everywhere. There's no secret prices. When you book your appointment, you have an idea on how much you're going to spend. They're not surprising you with your total at checkout. When you give them inspo pics, they give you exactly what you asked for. Exhibit A, the creativity, the quality, the execution, top tier. And everything is customized to your taste, what you like. They're never going to try to make you change your mind or do something different because they don't have the skills to execute your vision. They're not trying to just rush you and get to the next client. They're taking their time with you. When you're in their hands, you are their priority. You don't have to worry about somebody getting put in front of you or jumping in front of the line. No, we watched my wife and kids my entire appointment. You know how good my wife and kids is. It was an experience I never even thought I could have. And boom, my nails was done and it was time for me to go and I didn't want to leave. Every single customer and every single nail tech was saying good morning to everyone. There is no talking where you don't understand what somebody's saying, or you don't know if they're talking about you, or you don't know if they don't like your feet. None of that. When my toes was in her lap, she took care of them like they was her own. I'm definitely going back. But if y'all want to try it for yourselves, it's located in the DMV, baby. Don't say I ain't put y'all on or nothing. I should have gatekept this one.
See what's been going on. All right. How long for an appointment?
Huh?
How long for an appointment?
What do you mean? You want pedicure? You want pedicure? Yeah, you will do now.
You do it right now? Okay. Do you have a bathroom? I'll wash my hands first.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Actually, someone using black. You can use this.
Oh, yes, this thing? Okay. And I walked the fuck right back out. I walked right back the fuck out.
So I'm in Houston, Texas, door dashing, and I'm happening to pick an order up from Jersey Mike's, and this Nom Nom Noodles is right next to me. Let's see. Oh, this hoe ghost town. Ooh, Jesus. Y'all still on business?
Hey. Oh, I didn't know you was back here, girl. I ain't even see you. Oh. Nah, just making sure.
So I found myself back in Asian people business, and this is what I found out. Oh, baby, the band is not stopping, okay? Them Asian-owned nail salons and shit, the chairs are empty. It's summertime. That's where they supposed to get the most business. Pedicure season, baby. They have no clients. Now they all on the internet crying about how their salons are empty and how nobody's getting their nails done, nobody's supporting these businesses, and how it's racist and everybody's anti-Asian. But let me explain something to y'all, okay? I want to make sure that I'm 110% clear, so that way I'm going to talk real slow so that way y'all understand me, okay? Because I understand that comprehension is not a skill that everybody has. People do not want to support your business, not because they don't like Asian people and they're anti-Asian. They don't want to support your business because they're tired of being racially profiled as soon as they walk into the door. All right? They're tired of feeling like that every time they go into y'all salons and, you know, go to y'all hair supply stores, you're following them around and, you know, you laughing and joking and talking shit in different languages and Vietnamese or whatever the fuck language y'all are speaking. They don't feel welcome. That's why they don't want to support your business. This whole situation with Cyrus was the straw that broke the camel's back. It was already coming. Like I said, I'm going to speak real slow so that way everybody understand what it is that I'm saying. Put yourself above other people of color because your skin's just a tiny bit lighter. It's a problem. It's deep in y'all community, and that's something that y'all need to work on. But all this crying on the internet, it need to stop because we don't give a fuck.